What's up everybody, Wix here again. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm just going to be covering the little collection of car parts that I've been gathering over the last 3 to 6 months. Let's go check out these car parts. Alright, so this is roughly, I think I said higher in the last video, but this is about 90% of everything I'm going to need to chuck on the STI. So, got a few well-known brands here, as you can see, since the last build. If you've seen the two-door Type R STI, I used a lot of Radium gear and it was pretty good, so I've decided to go with that again. Always been a big Turbosmart fan. We went a precision turbo on the last build. That went really well, so I've decided to stick with precision. And what's different this time? This time I am going with a air-to-air front mount intercooler. The last build I went water-to-air. I've decided to use the same headers as the last build. We'll go over that in a bit. I think this is a definite must for high horsepower builds, having that super damper on. Because the engine is bare, it didn't come with a sump, so I've decided to go with the IAG sump this time. I think the last build I used a Roger Clark Motorsport sump, so no preference really to IAG. They both make great products between them and Roger Clark Motorsport, but just wanted something different, so decided to go the IAG sump this time. We've got a brand new Koyo Rad radiator to go in, and also a Mishimoto fan shroud to go around the radiator as well. The last build I used was the ECU wise was a Link, and this time we're gonna go Haltech. So first time using Haltech, but yeah, heard some great reviews about it. There's not too many people that don't like Haltech, so for the price that it was, and for anyone looking for an ECU out there, these guys' prices are actually pretty awesome. So yeah, check them out. So I couldn't bring the engine out here. We'll go check out the engine now. It's just out the back of the house. I couldn't bring it in here because it's on the engine stand, and I can't really wheel it around the house to get it in there, so we'll just go check it out the back, and also the plenum as well. There's also another part that I'll show you which wasn't on the original plan, but after watching if you know the guy S Media off YouTube and Josh Bader, who are who's well known for building very fast Subarus, I've learnt a little trick off them when it comes to power steering, so we'll have a look at that as well. But for now, let's go check out the engine. This is the Shell Performance's stage 4 block. It's rated up to 600 kilowatt or just over 800 horsepower. And here is a list of everything that's done to the block. This is you can find this stuff listed on their website. I'll chuck a link in the description as well. But this is everything that's inside this long block here. Right, there are a couple of second-hand parts that I'm going to install on this car, and one of them is this one here, the TGV deletes and the Process West intake manifold. So I got this off another Subaru enthusiast here in Western Australia, Perth. He actually races, his son races for him. He owns the car, but his son races his two-door coupe GC8. And I've seen a couple of videos of it too, and it's yeah, it's quite wicked. But they had this sitting on the shelf for a little while, and they decided to get rid of it. I was lucky enough to see it, and grabbed it. When I grabbed it, it was quite scratched up, had a few horrible marks on it. So I've spent a few hours and a few days just hand sanding and trying to bring it back up a good polish or a good shine on it. So I've decided to go with the factory orientation as well, because I'm going to need my air conditioning. It gets quite hot here in Perth. So I wasn't willing to delete it like I did the last one and move my alternator over like I did on my last build. So the last build had a front facing, this one I've decided to keep it factory, which means my intercooler piping will have to go around the long way, but that's all good. So as you can see, it doesn't come with a sump. It was just purely the long block, which is all bolted together. Timing kit's already on, so that's really awesome to see. The other thing that I can't show you today would be the clutch that I'm going to use, because I've actually already installed it in the car. So the clutch I decided to go with was pretty much the same as the last build, was the Extreme twin plate clutch. I think they've upgraded it somehow, because it kind of looked different when I installed it. So my clutch was going on the STI a few months back, and rather than just putting the normal one in, I just decided to put the twin plate in now. That way when it's time to put everything in, at least the clutch is already worn in. So yeah, that part's already done. But otherwise, that's the engine that's going in with the intake manifold. I really should be starting to put things together. However, I'm still waiting to decide on one of the parts I haven't bought yet, are the injectors. So I'm still trying to decide which injectors to go with. On my last build I went with the ID 1700 X's, I think they're called, injector dynamics, and they were awesome, but very expensive. So I'm just seeing if there's a cheaper option but without sacrificing performance. Maybe just the straight Bosch injectors. Maybe, I've been told 1650s would be okay. I wouldn't mind going 2000s minimum, but I'm still trying to work that out. Once I get that on, then I can start putting the injectors on, fuel rails, and start mocking all that stuff up as well. So the other thing I've decided to do is, you would have seen on my last build that I didn't have the factory hydraulic power steering pump, mechanical pump. What I did was I converted it to an electrical hydraulic pump. So I mounted the pump under the car, ran some lines up. That gave me some room in here, and I think I mounted my fuel regulator right here. Being a Radium multi-fuel regulator, I wanted to show it off and give it its own spot. So I've got the same regulator this time, and I actually wouldn't mind planting it in the same spot. So what I'm going to do is I've actually figured out a way on how to get rid of my hydraulic power steering pump, and this time I'm going to convert it to electrical, but not an electrical hydraulic pump, just purely electrical. And I didn't think that was possible until I watched a couple of videos from, like I mentioned earlier, S Media and Josh Bader. They showed me a little trick that you can do from, it's a factory setup, and I need to figure out some wiring, 3 wires pretty much. Well, there's 5 altogether, but 3 I need to figure out. And if I can figure those out, then I'll have electrical steering. So let's go and have a look at that now. Okay, so underneath the goodies table, what we have is a steering rack from a 2020 Subaru WRX non-STI. I think it starts from the 2019. I was actually looking for a 2019, but found out the 2020s have it as well. It was the only one available to me, but it's the same thing. Steering rack has its own electrical power steering pump that doesn't need power steering fluid. It's just a pure electrical steering pump, and that comes factory. So what the boys figured out, Josh Bader and that, is that we can put that in the earlier model VA chassis, which is cool. So what it comes with is this little harness here that plugs up to the unit, and then we've got 5 wires. 2 of them are easy, it's just a 12 volt in the ground. Then we've got 3 little wires here. I know one of them is a 12 volt switch wire, the other 2 are CAN bus high and CAN bus low. Which wire is which I need to figure out, so that's what I need to research. So I should be able to just find out from a wiring diagram on good old Google and figure that out. The switch wire is pretty easy to do, and then the other 2 I believe, according to Josh Bader, just hooks up to the OBD port inside the car. So fingers crossed that goes well, because it means I can get rid of, like I said, I can get rid of my power steering pump, all the high power steering lines, get rid of the power steering reservoir, and I don't need to put anything else in there. The only thing that they did mention was it has different mounting brackets, hence why you see another lower subframe or cross member there. I might need to bolt that one in the car. The engine will still sit on it the same, but this rack won't fit into my cross member. The only difference with this cross member here, or lower subframe, is it doesn't have the little cutout where a up pipe would go for a turboed model. So this is off a non-turbo model. So if I was to put that in and running a factory up pipe, I'd have to carve my own sort of gap for the up pipe. I won't be running the factory up pipe anyway, so in this case this is going to work really well for me. So hopefully that goes well. I'll do a little bit of research on these wires, and hopefully I can wire this thing up and I'll have electrical power steering in the car. That was just a quick overview on all the parts all together that's going to go in. What I'll do now is I'll just open up a few boxes just so we can take a look at some of this gear just a little bit closer. So first one I'll start with is this big intercooler here. So this is the ETS intercooler got this one from the States. I decided to go with it's not really the same, but this is a 4-inch thick core. And what I was expecting, and I didn't know, maybe I chose the wrong option, I'm not too sure, but it's only got 2.5-inch inlet outlets. I was under the assumption maybe that it was going to come with 3-inch outlets. So one job I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut these off and put 3-inch pipe on it. I have just slid a 3-inch pipe over it, and it actually lines up pretty good, so I'm hoping that won't be too much of a drama. But yeah, so that's the first part. Air-to-air intercooler, ETS, 4-inch, and it will have 3-inch inlet outlets. So the next one I'll talk about are the headers and where I'm going to mount the turbo, but I thought I'd just show you in the engine. So once the headers are on, the turbo is going to be mounted where my hand is. So the up pipe actually comes under at the front and straight up here, holding the turbo. Hence why I'm not going to use that factory up pipe, which means I can swap it over with the other subframe or the lower cross member, with it not having that notch. Doesn't matter to me, because like I said, the up pipe's going to come straight over here anyway. So that's where the turbo is going to go. So this is a whole kit you can buy. I think Pro Speed Racing in Australia have them as well. I know they have the factory kits. I'm not sure about this kit. So this kit is a headlight mounted kit you can buy. Comes with everything you need. So what we have is our headers. I've decided to keep the equal length headers. I went with the equal length setup on my last build as well. I'm just cringing hearing all the Subaru fans going, no, lose the rumble. You'd be surprised on how good the sound is even with these equal length headers. The way that Evan makes these is he's done a really good job, and the sound it's hard to describe, but I enjoyed that sound, and that's why I've decided to go with this, along with when you're chasing power, a lot of people know that the equal lengths just flow a little bit better than the unequal lengths. So it comes with the headers, the out pipe which has a wastegate port on it, and I've decided to go with a fender exit exhaust as well as the screamer pipe that'll come out the exhaust as well. So which will mean that the exhaust and the screamer pipe is going to come out here. Is that legal? No, of course it's not legal. But that's what's going to happen with that. So I will have another option where I have another exhaust that'll go from the turbo and hook it up to my exhaust that I've got on it now, which is the NVIDIA I think it's 400, I think. So I will have another one for when I want to be street legal, but when it's time to go show off and have some fun, then I can have the option of chucking on my fender exhaust as well as the screamer pipe. So just before I put all this gear away, I just wanted to go over just the quality of welds that he does. You know, I think we all buzz out on the color of steel when it comes to welding, and this man really puts some love into his welding. He's got a pretty good setup where he is. Yeah, it's just awesome. You know when you buy from this guy, you're not going to have any issues with any welds blowing at the seams or anything like that. So a little bit expensive. The wait time takes a while as well. He's only a one-man gang, but man, I love his stuff. I would definitely grab some more again if I did another build, which hopefully doesn't happen. So next up is the Super ATI damper. ATI Super damper. Not much to see. Had one of these on the last build, but here we have one damper. So that's to go on. Not much to see there. Let's move on to the next one. Right, next up we've got the fuel pump. So I've decided to go with a Walbro 525 pump. Now from what I know, after reading the box, Walbro automotive fuel pumps are now TI automotive, hence why it doesn't say Walbro. But this is the 525 pump. I'm only going with one at the moment, and this time I'll wait for the tuner to tell me that I need another fuel pump before I grab another one, or I'll wait till I start putting it in the car. I could grab another one just so it's already sitting there ready to go. But that's that. Next up is the IAG baffled oil sump. Alright, and if you've never actually seen one, this is what they look like. So nice little logo on the bottom, drain plug on the bottom. I'm guessing that's a sensor hole, I don't really know. But yeah, look at that backplane system, pretty awesome. Bit of windage in there as well. The pickups on these are awesome. The Roger Clark Motorsport one, it's I would say it's even better than this one, but this one just looks like it'll do the job perfectly as well. I love how they have all the IAG logos all over the place, whole bunch of seals and whatnot to put it all together, and also another, I think these are called windage trays as well. That'll go on the bottom of the block, I guess. So yeah, that's our oil sump. Alright, so next up are our Turbosmart gear. So I've decided to go with the same blower valve as the last build, which is the 50mm raceport blower valve. And this time, I think I had twin, because I had a twin scroll on the last setup. Now I'm going single, so I've just got a single 45 wastegate. Still looks big enough, so those are those two bad boys. Okay, so next up is the fuel line. So this time I've decided to go with the PTE fuel line, which has the little plastic sleeve in it, so perfect for when you want to run E85, because this on this build we're definitely going to run E85 because they have it on the pump here in Australia, which is awesome. The last build, I have got flex fuel, but I haven't not running E85 on the STI back home yet, and I might have to change the fuel lines anyway. What size is this? So this is a dash 8 line. So just recommended to me from a few tuners and builders that for what I'm wanting to do with the car, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, I'll definitely need to step up to a dash 8, whereas the factory lines are pretty much equivalent to a dash 6. On the last setup I was running dash 6, but this time I've decided to go to a dash 8. So I've got 2 packs here. I think this is 5 meters of hose, and the pack came with 10 fittings as well, 10 random fittings. So I'll probably need to get some more fittings as I start putting it together. Alright, next. Needed a 3-inch throttle body. There's only, well, I think a few companies do make the 3-inch Bosch boom bar, but on my last build I went with an IAG 3-inch, just purely because it just adapted to the, it comes with the adapter to the Process West intake as well, so I decided to go the same. There's one change I've noticed with this setup, and it's they actually have this unit here already bolted on. On the last setup you had to remove this unit here from the factory one, and it came as almost like a bare shell with new rivets actually in the box, so you had to put your factory one in and then rivet it on yourself. But I'm not sure, maybe due to feedback I'm guessing, but now they've put their own one on it, which is awesome. It's one less job I have to worry about. IAG 3-inch throttle body. And just as I'm putting it away, so this is the adapter plate that goes between the throttle body and the Process West intake. I think they either do a throttle body on its own, or they do the throttle body that has the adapter with it. So if you've got a Process West intake and you are grabbing a 3-inch throttle body, make sure you grab the pack with the adapter in it as well, and then it comes with all the bolts and seals to put everything together. So yeah, that's cool. Alright, next up is the big boy. Precision single scroll turbo. Alright, next up is the big boy. So this is a Precision Next Gen PT6466. So the next gen are just the latest generation of turbos. The last turbo I used from Precision on the Type R was the Gen 2, I think. Gen 2 PT6266 twin scroll. And as far as I know, according to the tuner, never used a turbo like this, and it was my first time running a turbo like this. He actually said it went quite well, so I've decided to step it up a notch. Like I said, this is the single scroll PT6466. I think the Gen 2 6466 were capable of 800 horsepower. Being the next gen, they've stepped it up an extra 200 horsepower, so this is capable of running 1000 horsepower. So decided to go V-bands all round again. So yeah, that's pretty much the turbo. Great turbos. Not to say that any other turbo is not good enough. I'm just a fan of Precision. Alright, so it may look like a lot in those boxes, but it's actually not too much gear. So first of all, I probably should have bought one of these for the last build, but I didn't. But this is a dual pump hanger that'll just remove the factory hanger in the car, and we slip one of these in and it'll allow us to run dual fuel pumps. So like I said, I've only got the one pump at the moment, but this will allow me to run 2 pumps. So that was an easy one. That was a definite I needed to have. So like I said, I've decided to go with the same fuel regulator. I've upgraded it a little bit. We'll just have a little quick look. Just something minor that I noticed. To adjust them, you can do them by hand now. So I've got this little twisting thing that you can do on your hand, so you don't need a Allen Allen key or a spanner or nothing. You can just do it by hand, so that's really cool. What I've noticed by pulling that out is I haven't got the fuel gauge, so I'll need to order a fuel gauge. Right, onto the fuel rails. Much the same as the last ones that I bought up for the last setup. They have upgraded to their spacers to be black, which is nice because the last ones were wooden, and I got rid of those and made aluminium sleeves. So yeah, same fuel rails. It has this big port on the top and on each rail, and I've decided to run them this time. I didn't on the last setup, but this time I will. And they're just these fuel pulse dampers. So I've got two of them, one for each rail, and I think it just runs its own little vacuum hose. I've got those two. Definitely needed this for after the fuel pumps. So this is a 6 micron Radium fuel filter, and I decided to buy a bracket this time. And it comes with bracket holders as well, so this will bolt up. Apparently it just bolts straight up to the car, close to the gearbox, close to the engine as well, so apparently that's the bracket that's made for it. So that's quite cool. If it can just bolt up, and I can just run my line straight to the fuel filter and then from there into the engine. So at the moment that's all the Radium gear. Like I said, I still need to buy a fuel gauge for the regulator, but otherwise, yeah, Radium. Love this stuff. So good. Looks good. Smells good. Is good. Sorry, and I forgot to mention this one. This is a fuel lever sender adapter. I was getting confused on the website actually. I'm not sure if I actually need this, but all it is an adapter so I can link up my factory fuel level sender to the new fuel hanger. I'm pretty sure it bolts straight on, but if not, at least I've got this bracket. I think it was only like $20, so not a big cost. Alright, so next up we have a brand new Koya radiator with a Mishimoto twin 12-inch fan shroud. So yeah, very light this radiator. Probably could polish it up a little bit more if I decide to. We'll see how we go with that. Trying to find the radiator shroud for this was pretty hard, but what I've learnt is that this radiator from Koya Rad is pretty much an identical when it comes to mounting bolts and holes and all that. It's almost identical to a factory setup, so that made it easy in the end to find a radiator shroud, because I just needed to find one that would fit a factory radiator, which is what this Mishimoto shroud does, and then I was just hoping like hell that it would actually fit this radiator. So if I line that up with each other, let me just put the camera down so you can actually see it's not a bad fit. So this hole pretty much lines up. That one does too. It just needs to be lifted up a little bit. And same as these holes as well. But otherwise, yeah, that fits. And apparently, I'm not sure just by looking at these, but they reckon this would be able to hook up. It's just the instant plug and play, so I'm hoping that these are the Subaru plugs, so it should just save me any wiring, save me any swapping plugs over. Hopefully these just plug up straight away. And that's the cooling side for the radiator done. Right, and finally, all the Haltech gear. So I won't open up everything, but I might open up the main ones. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3 boxes. And we'll just pull everything out of the box. So these ones I can put away quickly. One flex fuel sensor to run the E85, wideband. I've got a CAN hub adapter, one boost solenoid. This is an air intake sensor, and I think this is just an adapter harness for the wideband stuff. So those ones are pretty much straightforward, like these other ones. Alright, so this is the guts of all the Haltech stuff that I grabbed. So just to start off with, brand new ECU. This is the Nexus S3. So these come with a factory built-in map sensor, which I think a lot of ECUs do. My link that I ran in my Type R didn't, so I had to run my own map sensor. But yeah, these ones come with one built-in. Haltech got some really cool gear. They've also got another ECU which is known as the R3 or R4, I think it is, and they also come with PDM plugins as well. If you wanted to go that way, I don't need to do that on this build, so I've just chosen to go with the Nexus S3. I decided to get a 8-button CAN bus keypad, and when I saw that I freaked out because I'm used to seeing them yellow and that, but then inside the pack it comes with all these little cool stickers that you can put on the labels or the buttons, depending on what you want to run. So there's some cool ones in here. Just send it, unleash the beast, give me more power. No one's going to complain about that one. So yeah, comes with a whole bunch. I think there's a few more in there as well. And then this one is the ultimate baby, other than all of that. This is the Haltech Dash, the UC10. So they used to only have the 7-inch, but now they've brought out this 10-inch. I think it's been out for a while. So I've got the 10-inch screen. So yeah, that's a beautiful package, ready to go in there as well. What I've also done is I've also purchased a harness adapter to make this a plug-in, to go from my factory wiring in the car, plug it up to the harness, and it should plug straight into this. So my tuner's currently got that harness. This will be the first install that I do to the car, to get the ECU in, plug it in, and it'll mean I'll need to give it a mild tune just so I can run around on it still. But yeah, I think that's going to be the first mod. So was going to try and do that next week, but I'm going to work for a few weeks, so I might have to be after that as well. So hopefully we can get that in, tuned, basic tune, very basic tune, just to get the car rolling. Hopefully we can hook up the keypads. I don't know what they'll be doing. And I've also ordered a dash mount that holds the new dash, and hopefully it will bolt straight into where the cluster is. Pull my cluster out, put that up to the dash mount, and then bolt it into the car. So I'm still waiting for that mount to turn up as well, but otherwise I should be able to throw all of those. I think when you're running the ECU, I'm going to have to install the wideband straight away as well. I'm not too sure about the boost solenoid. I think yes, but I'll have to check with the tuner. The only thing that doesn't need to be hooked up straight away is probably the flex fuel, but otherwise everything will pretty much be installed all in one go. So yeah, new to Haltech. Let's see what this puppy can do. Just as I'm putting all this stuff away, I just wanted to show you guys this stuff. So when you buy, and I know it's definitely with the Haltech stuff and also the Radium gear as well, I've got these little stickers on the side. It's hard to read, but if you're up close you can read them. Maybe this one might be better on the green box. And pretty much what they're saying is, once you break the seal, please read Haltech's restocking feel applies if the seal is broken. So, and a disclaimer. So a lot of them are starting to do that now. There's one on this box, one on that box, one on that box. Not so much on the bags, but I'm guessing you have to rip the bag, so it's essentially breaking the seal as well. So yeah, interesting how they started to do that, but obviously I understand why as well. Also just wanted to show you what actually comes in the box with the ECU. So the Nexus S3 comes with another box in there, which is a CAN bus cord. Oh no, it's a USB to C. Do I know what that's for yet? No, I don't know what that's for yet. I can play guessing games, but I won't because I'm pretty new to it. So it comes with one of those cables, some hardware bolts and nuts, maybe to mount the thing. The other cool thing, it comes with these really big key tags. Page up for power. So that's what's inside that box. The keypad comes with the keypad, quick start guide, a little sticker and some couple of nuts in there. Also this adapter or plug in to the CAN bus, which will hook up to, where is it? This buddy here. So this will hook up to the Nexus S3, and then I'm only going to use the two ports, one for the CAN keypad and the other one to run the dash. So that's why I needed that CAN hub. So that's what this will plug into. So that'll just go from there. I was a bit worried there. That'll go from there via that plug into that, which will plug into the CAN adapter, which plugs into the ECU. Along with the ECU, it comes with just noticed a couple of booklets sitting under the cardboard here. So there's a quick start guide for that one, a couple of stickers that might help. What are those? Quick keys and just some Haltech stickers, and then also a whole wiring diagram as well, which is always helpful. Right. And the last part is the dash. Take the dash out. It comes with another one of those USB-C cables, another harness. So in this box has a few more gear, a couple of external buttons, a cable, not too sure what this is yet, one of those, and another key tag. So yeah, that's what comes with the dash, plus the dash itself, and it's big. So that's pretty much everything I've got for now, all those car parts. So that's pretty much everything that I've got so far, which is quite a bit, remembering I've still got a couple more things to come as well. So the other thing I've decided to invest in is I've bought my own TIG welder setup, AC/DC, so I can do both alley and stainless. Do I know how to weld? Do I want to learn? Not really. But I've decided I'm going to give it a go. You remember on my last build I had my mate Dean who did all the welding for me. I did all my aluminium welding, and it was his first go at doing it, and he pulled it off quite good. He sort of convinced me to give it a go as well, so I've decided to bite the bullet, buy a setup, and we'll see how we go as well. So I plan to do all my own welding this time, just as another challenge, because I don't have enough challenges in my life as it is. So I plan to do some alley welding, stainless welding, which apparently is easier than alley. So yeah, that's another little side goal that I've got going on as well. So we'll see how we go with that. Alright, that's me for now. Just wanted to do a video on showing you all the collection that I've got over the last few months. A lot of these brands I've used before in the last, and a lot of the brand and gear that I've used in the last build went really well. So I've decided to run with it again, just upgrading those little bits that I've spoken about. As always, if you've liked this video, please send me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and follow me along for the build. If you've got any questions about what I'm doing or what I plan to do, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. I'll get back to you. And other than that, I'll see you in the next episode, which will be I will be installing the Haltech gear. I'll be getting just a minor tune on it, just enough so I can run around on it, have a little bit of fun. But I'll be getting the Haltech gear in, getting the ECU in, the wideband in. Not sure about the boost solenoid, I'll find out. Getting the keypad in and also the dash. So for the dash, I'm just waiting for the mount to turn up and I'll be able to install that dash as well, so I might wait till then. But that's what's in the next video, is installing the Haltech gear. Hopefully I can come along with the tuner and show you guys how it's installed and how it's connected as well, which I always love to share. But yeah, until then, ciao.